From ancient Greek and Roman gods to our planets today. Did you know that our planets are named after ancient gods? These planets are the only ones that can be seen by naked eye. That means without a telescope or binoculars, which were not invented yet in the ancient world. So, 2,500 years ago, the Greeks named these planets for some of their gods. Planet names in ancient Greece: Hermes, Aphrodite, Ares, Zeus, Kronos. Those aren't the planet names I know. Here are the planets people saw long ago, and you can see them with your eyes too. Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Saturn. But where do these planet names come from? The names changed because the Romans took over Greece over 2,000 years ago in 146 BCE. The Romans liked the Greek gods and goddesses, but changed the names to the Roman language. The Roman gods' names became the names of the planets that were known at that time: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. The Roman names are in black letters, and the Greek names are in green letters. Uranus. The Romans didn't change this name. Uranus was the first and oldest sky god. He was the grandfather of Zeus. Uranus, the planet, is pale blue, like the color of the sky. It was the first planet found with a telescope, discovered in 1781 by William Herschel. It was named Uranus to match the tradition of using Roman god names for planets. Uranus, Father Sky, had children with Gaia, Mother Earth. The youngest son was Kronos. The Romans called him Saturn. Kronos, Saturn, killed his father, Uranus, and took his place as the new ruler of the universe. Saturn is sometimes called Father Time. He was afraid that if he had a son, that son might also kill him and take his place as the top god. The rings of the planet Saturn look a bit like the sharp curved sword of Kronos, which is called a scythe. But no one could see the rings without a telescope. Kronos, Saturn, had many children. Just as he had feared, his youngest son, Zeus, led a battle against him, killed him, and took his place. This war was called the Clash of the Titans, and it lasted 10 years. Zeus and his brothers and sisters were called the Olympians, and his father Kronos and his siblings were called the Titans. After the Olympians beat the Titans, Zeus became king of the gods and king of all sky and earth. He shared parts of it with his brothers, making Poseidon, the god of the sea, and Hades, the god of the dead. The Roman name for Zeus was Jupiter. He was king of the gods, ruling over both sky and land. His magic tool was bolts of lightning. Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system, so it seems right that it is named after the king of the gods. Poseidon, Neptune, was king of the sea. He also created horses for land and magical horses with fish tails called hippocampi. His tool is called a trident. It is like a giant fork with 3 prongs. People believed that ocean storms were caused by Neptune, so sea travelers prayed to him for good weather. The planet Neptune is very blue and looks like ocean, but it is too cold for water. Ares was a son of Zeus, or as the Romans would say, Mars was a son of Jupiter. Mars was the god of war. His color is red. Even long ago, people could see that Mars looked redder than the other stars in the sky. With a telescope, you can see how red it looks. It is red because the ground contains a metal called iron, which gives it that color. The white at the bottom is ice. Another son of Zeus, Jupiter, was Hermes, Mercury. He was the messenger for the gods and had wings on his feet and on his hat. Mercury is the fastest moving planet, so the fastest god is a good name for it. Aphrodite, Venus, was goddess of love and beauty. She didn't have parents because she was born right out of the ocean. Some say she rose from a shell. Another story says she came up out of sea foam. Sea foam is all the tiny white bubbles on top of the waves. You can see Venus the planet with your bare eyes. It looks like the brightest and most beautiful star in the sky. It's often near the crescent moon just after sunset. Venus seen through a telescope looks golden. Hades, Pluto, the king of the dead, ruled over all the spirits who lived in the underworld. He had a giant three-headed dog named Cerberus. Charon was the boatman who brought the dead spirits, ghosts, across the river Styx to enter the underworld. It was dark and dim in the underworld. The dwarf planet Pluto is so far away from the sun that it is very cold and dark. Even at the brightest time of day, the light on Pluto is more like dawn or dusk on Earth. Pluto has a moon named Charon. And what about Earth? Earth is the only one of our 8 planets that is not named after a Roman god. The word Earth comes from both the German word Erde and the Old English word Eartha, which mean ground. In very ancient times, most people in the world didn't know that the ground they walked on was also flying through space like the planets they saw moving in the sky. But in ancient Greece, some scientists did think the Earth was a ball like the other objects in the sky. Those Greeks were very clever. There are many different ways these gods have been pictured by many different artists over the last 3,000 years since ancient Greece. My favorite pictures are from this book, Gods and Goddesses of Olympus by Aliki. Many pictures in this presentation are from it, and I thank her. I think I'll go explore space to make some more fun videos. Bye for now, and please like and subscribe.